Congratulations. You found the Twin Cities Hit Show with Rusty, Courtney, and Chuck.
Very well. Where do I begin?
Ladies and gentlemen, can I please have your attention?
Reach for this one.
And now, a real hit show live from the Twin Cities.
Don't you feel like trying something new?
People do belong to each other, because that's the only chance anybody's got for real happiness. You call yourself a free spirit, a wild thing, and you're terrified somebody's going to stick you in a cage.
There's just something missing for me, and I don't know what.
What do you mean something? Something missing from me?
There's a moment. There's always a moment. I can do this. I can give in to this, or I can resist it.
You tell me when I'm being an arrogant son of a bitch, and I tell you when you're being a pain in the ass. Which you are, 99% of the time.
It's the Twin Cities Hit Show.
You wanna do things I can't do. Always something breaking us in two. But don't you take the easy way out.
What easy way? There is no easy way. No matter what I do, somebody gets hurt.
I'm dying in your beds many years from now. Would you be willing to trade all the days from this day to that for one chance, just one chance, to come back here and tell our enemies that they may take our lives, but they'll never take our freedom?
Let's get this hit show started.
So dramatic.
Oh my God.
That was a different open than we had.
Yeah. They're all different.
Seemed to have a theme.
Yeah. So
Freedom!
sad.
Someone's wanting her freedom.
Aww.
Courtney's last show on the Twin Cities Hit Show. What episode is this?
It's
you and I did the
55.
55.
Yeah.
When did we first go on the air?
February 17th.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah,
February
so
17th.
We've been through snow, and now we're into the summer, nearing summer. Someone won't be able to enjoy this summer with us.
Summer quitting season.
Summer
Quitter,
season.
fatty pants.
And the phones, by the way, they have been ringing off the hook. It's
yeah.
Hey, Courts, this is Rich Baskey. I was your boyfriend, 2 boyfriends before. I heard you're leaving the show. That sucks, man. You rock. You rock.
Oh.
Anyways, things are going pretty good for me. I'm wrestling now. It's fucking cool. But we should get together. Either Richfield Applebee's or Mendota Heights one. I hang out at both.
like
It's
nice
also,
guy.
I heard about that you being a lesbian now. That's sweet. I miss your curves. The curve down places. Anywho, page me. I got a sweet new pager, 182-6618-9ers. You rock. Talk to you, Courtsies.
Wow, an ex-boyfriend calling.
Courtsies.
From 2 boyfriends
He's the
ago.
only person I will allow to call me Courtsies.
You know, the reason I liked what we had going with the 3 of us is because of the chemistry, and we all come from different walks of life. Chuck being mentally handicapped.
Hey.
Me being a genius.
I'm over that. I got cured.
No, you're 18 years on the police force. You have a lot of insight and a comedian that you bring to the show. Courtney having her own unique life's journey. And we've learned so much, this hippie free spirit. One of the things, though, we've heard is that she likes her marijuana. And I guess the fans have picked up on that, too.
Wait a minute, man. Wait a minute, man. I totally know this stuff. Courtney, this is Jack. We were at that after bar last week. Fuck, man. I was tripped. This bud you had, man. I don't even know. I thought it was calling your cell. Apparently this is some show. Man, Courtney, oh, sweet. Oh, man. Stop by. You know where I live, 4th and 7th. Right next to the Jeremy Shack house.
Sounds like you might be high.
Yeah, maybe. Just
Which also got you maybe a job opportunity, it sounds like.
Oh, okay.
Hello, this is the weed commissioner for the Denver County Airport. We are calling for Courtney Pesante because we heard she's leaving her current position at her current job, the Tin City Shinchao. Please give us a call. We are interested in putting you entitled with a position which might be able to support your currently proportional sizes and smoking habits. Give us a call. We think that you should be the leader of the pot generation in Denver, Colorado. Give us a call, 1-877-89444, Denver.
Wow.
I'm in. I accept.
Could I just critique these?
Why do we encourage people to call in?
Yes,
and
we do.
Courtney's
Absolutely.
announcement has generated a lot of fans calling in.
I'm going to say that might be the same person. I don't know.
Maybe. It could be, but
no,
who
no.
knows? You
I
know what,
don't
though?
think
I'm
so.
really happy to have affected that one person.
Yes. Oh.
So...
So-
this is my song.
Yeah. And so, again,
This is an old
one of the
version.
reasons you're leaving is because of your band.
Mm-hmm.
Explain.
So this is what happened, is before the Twin Cities hit show came about, I decided to take a performance hiatus with the Dirty Curls to take time to plan tours and record and write new songs and yada yada. And I found that I haven't had a lot of time to do that, and that's the main thing. I love the Twin Cities hit show. I wish that it happened at a different place in my life. Chuck has a Nerf bullet in his nose right now while he's listening to me.
Go on.
And that's really, it's the main reason is that I feel like I need to focus on Dirty Curls right now, and I need to... We had picked up some great momentum. We just got City Pages Artist of the Year at the end of last year. We played with the Dan Band, which was arguably our biggest show. We've got a few big shows coming up. And I would like to take a lot of things on tour, and I just see it growing, and and I love doing this every morning, but it is a lot of energy. It's a lot of commitment, and Rusty and Chuck are fucking impossible to deal with.
Well, that's true.
There
is that.
as much, and I told Rusty this earlier before we went on the air, Chuck, and I'm going to tell you to your face on the air. This has nothing to do with either you or Rusty. I enjoy both your company very, very, very much. I love you guys. But alas, you can't hold me like the dirty bluegrass can.
Okay.
Yeah, I know. That's cool. That's as much as I can explain.
The dirty bluegrass can. What does that mean?
By dirty bluegrass, she means cello guy. That's code.
That's my, that's my band.
Dirty Curls.
Yeah, but Dirty Bluegrass is what we play.
Oh,
Yeah.
got you. Now I was.
Oh, dirty. Now I get it.
Now you get it.
Dirty. Yeah.
Got you.
This is like this old lo-fi video from forever ago. I love it.
Well, is there another one you'd rather be play? You're going to be playing, by the way, next. Thursday or Friday at the
We're going to
Varsity?
be playing Thursday at the Varsity, May 7th.
7th.
Yeah.
Nice.
Playing with the Change-Ups and G-Biz. The Change-Ups we've played with before a few times, and they're great. G-Biz we never played with. They don't really sound like my kind of music, like they're weird rap, which we've played with rap groups before. But I don't know. We'll see. It's the booker who decided the lineup. And supposedly we're headlining. So
Sweet.
Yeah, I'm super excited about it. We've never played the Varsity before. This is, I hope people come out.
Well, and I'd like to think that this is not the last we'll hear of Courtney on the Twin Cities hit show.
I can't be your
Hit show,
co-host
hit show.
anymore, but I am definitely going to be stopping by. I'll probably come and surprise you a few times too.
All right.
You know where we're located, right?
I
At the
do.
studio.
It's true. I do.
Southside Studios.
I know where you are. So
Grant, who listens to the show, said you got to play this one. Courtney will love this song. I kid you not. Listen to this song he sent in. It starts slow, but once it gets going, I think it'll. Yeah. Thank you. Let me look him up. Grant Hendrickson.
Trust. I never want to let you go, because girl, this is more than just love.
is this Lonely Island?
Damn.
No.
Nobody else matters when we together, baby girl. It's just us. You're my queen, girl. You make me better. Tonight I want to make a vow that lasts forever. I'm on one knee. This is the real business, girl. Have you ever heard of analingus, girl? Yeah, we've been dating for a minute, girl. And you know we both freaks. Remember the time we took shrooms and we killed and ate a bison and we made love on his carcass straight for a whole week?
Yep.
Yeah, that
Who
was
is
crazy,
this?
but tonight I'm finna eat
Oh,
the
look
butt.
it up. Hold on.
I'm finna eat it like a meat pizzone from Pizza Hut. I wanna show you why I appreciate that you were mine. I'm about to shove my face so deep inside that big behind and eat that booty like a snack. Eat it like the Times wrote a 4-star review on that
sounds like
ass
something
crack.
else.
I know you got some reservations about me eating booty. Like what's gonna happen if I go down there and see some duty? Look, we both two grown adults, and the fact that salad's gotta get
milk,
tossed.
lemonade,
And girl, I swear
rum,
it won't be too
water,
distressing if I get some
Wait till
extra
it gets to
dressing.
the
So
chorus
just bust
here.
that booty open for a motherfucking boss. Tonight I'm gonna eat the butt. Cause girl, you look so beautiful. And love can make a man do hella freaky stuff. Tonight I'm gonna eat
Should you
the
ever get
butt.
married to Cello Guy,
There ain't no other
I suggest
way.
this be your wedding song.
Clamp those butt cheeks on my head and smile.
I will say that
Tonight,
Cello Guy's butt is the first butt I've ever eaten.
Okay.
See?
Alrighty.
See, Rusty, you put this out there, and then you don't expect that I'm going to take it to the next
No.
level.
No, you're not required to, actually.
I know, but let me tell you something. There's something really nice about eating a butt, and that is, and it's
Yes.
like feeling those little butt cheeks against your face cheeks.
Okay.
It's so nice.
Depends on the butt.
It depends on the butt. Yeah, and being that I've only done this one, and we make sure everything's very clean. How do I live?
We have an unannounced voice chiming in. We better
oh, yeah.
introduce our guest here.
Yes. Ladies and gentlemen, today's guest is Birdchick Sharon Stiteler.
And by Birdchick, we mean butt-eating expert. All right, welcome.
But B-U-T-T. Anyway, we can skip this. Rusty, you brought it up.
I want to go bleach my mouth and ears.
And then your butt.
No, I know. I don't need to bleach my butt.
Chuck, you've never eaten butt?
I've never
And when I
eaten
say
butt.
eat, like, to me, it's, I'm just like a soft liquor. I'll stop. Should I stop?
I would prefer salad bar.
Let's stop.
You know who I discussed tossing the salad with once? Jessica Biel.
Oh, how did that go?
It went really well. She's very nice. It was a lot of fun.
And you guys did some butt licking?
No. We
Oh,
just had a
fine.
conversation. That's all.
Oh.
But yeah.
I hear birds.
Yes.
There they are. What kinds of birds are these?
Non-native.
I'm just shocked. I'm stunned here. I have nothing more to say. All I can think about is Courtney eating a butt.
Yeah, sorry. I know.
I'll come
I was
back.
trying
I'll be
to-
back in a second.
That's what I love about.
Find you some gifts on the internet.
Right?
Yeah, please. You're going to have to go right into that microphone,
Yeah.
unfortunately.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
I
There
can
you
get
go.
you some gifts.
Oh, yeah?
of butt eating if you would like.
Yeah, that'd be
super
great.
easy to
You can
find.
just mail
I was
them.
trying to cleanse the audio palette with some soothing bird sounds.
Can I have about a pound of ginger right now?
One of the things I found out putting this show together, because I didn't do a lot of YouTubing, they will loop sounds that go on for 8, 10. This is an 8-hour loop of bird sounds.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
You could just put this on and listen to birds for 8 hours.
Well, some people they'll do that with Purple Martin calls in an attempt to get Purple Martins to come to the Purple Martin house if you've never had any nest in your house.
Huh.
I
haven't.
I've never even heard of a purple.
Yeah, what
It
is
is Minnesota's largest swallow.
Oh,
Next to Courtney.
You got it out faster than I get.
I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
I'm Minnesota's
No,
largest
that was
spitter.
brilliant.
Does that, but in size, but not in population? Is it a rare bird or is it
Are
a
they
popular?
purple?
The males are. Oh yeah, the females aren't. But they're what I call a cult status bird. People really, really get into them. So they'll spend hundreds of dollars on the house, and the houses will house anywhere from 6 to 48 pairs. And then some people have multiple houses. And other birds like to nest in the house, and people will go to great lengths to prevent other birds from nesting in the Purple Martin house.
You birds, get out of here.
You don't belong here. Get out.
And they're good bug eaters. I mean, they say that they eat 1 million mosquitoes. I don't think they do, since mosquitoes are out at night and the martins are out during the day. But they do eat a lot of bugs.
Yeah.
I call bullshit.
How did you get into being a bird? You're a bird expert?
Yeah.
How did this happen?
It was completely by accident.
She was studying rattlesnakes.
Actually, theater. I thought at 18 that
Let me
was
guess. You were in Bye Bye Birdie.
No, actually, but I do like that musical. But no, I came to the Twin Cities to work as an actor. I worked for this really horrible company called Climb, and
really,
yeah,
oh, gossip,
yeah, creative learning ideas for mind and body. It was just, it was funny. After I would do auditions, after that contract ended, I had one of two reactions.
I'm sorry, is it the same Climb Theater? That's okay,
and it may be different. This was the mid '90s.
Yeah,
but people.
No, let's just say they're horrible.
They suck.
There was a script that we did for second graders that taught them about sexual harassment and why they shouldn't do it. Second graders.
Huh. Yeah, wait till third grade at least. Yeah.
Because second graders, it's totally cool to harass. Go for it.
Yeah, Joey comes home from school after having a bad day, and his mom wants to know what happened, and he's like, the kids just got mad at me. I don't understand, Mom. And she's like, well, show me what you did. And at one point, he flips her skirt and says, oh, baby, look at that. And I'm like, second graders.
Yeah.
Second graders.
Yeah.
Anyway.
But no.
I kind of did a shrug. I'm kind of like, well, I don't know. There's so much stuff out there in the world that kids are seeing, and
I got on board with the resilience scripts and the nonviolence scripts, but that one I was just like, ugh. But anyway, so to sustain myself, instead of waitressing, I got a job at a wild bird feeding store, and then everything just fell into place.
Wow, you just found a passion that you had no idea that you had.
Yeah, and in the speaking circuit, in the nature speaking circuit, a lot of people do not have a theatrical background and are kind of boring speakers.
So you probably do you get a lot of jobs because not only are you an expert, but because you are so comfortable in front of a crowd?
Definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely.
That's awesome.
Definitely.
That's
and I mean, there are other good, I shouldn't say, I don't want it to sound like every bird speaker out there is terrible. They're not, but it was just, I brought something different. I remember one program I did, and I charged a fee, and they said, oh, we don't usually pay people for this. And I was like, I'm a professional. If you want me, this is what you're going to have to pay. If not, fine, I'll go elsewhere. And so they reluctantly paid me, and I did the program. And they're like, that was great. People stayed awake for it.
And you're like, yeah,
high praise.
Worth it, wasn't it?
Yeah. So where do you work now? What is your...
I do about 5 or 6 different jobs that add up into one. So I work for the National Park Service as an interpretive ranger right here in the Twin Cities. I get booked by companies to consult on product development. So I get to travel the world doing that.
But products that you would use, I've seen that commercial you made where you're in the bathtub with the with the lens or whatnot.
I'm in the bathtub with $10,000 worth of optical equipment.
Yeah.
Why?
Dirty.
I wanted to show the various objective lenses and how wide they are, and also that they're completely waterproof.
Oh, okay. Well, now it's
so
making
sense. So I do that, and I do bird surveys for construction companies.
Oh.
Bird surveys.
So before a wind farm goes up.
So, you're a bird. How long have you been a bird?
Kinda.
I'm just doing a survey here, bird.
Yeah.
Does this air mostly objectionable, completely objectionable?
Does the food taste better going in or coming out when you feed it to your young?
Can you see this window on the new stadium? Yes or no?
Bird survey.
Right there.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
I suggest you leave the city and fly to where there's windmills. Oh.
Well, it wouldn't be
generators.
such a big deal if the stadium weren't on a major migratory corridor.
Like the IDS and the other buildings? Uh-oh.
If we already have buildings that are a problem, why make a building that's going to be an even bigger problem?
Because we're humans.
And we're parasites and we fuck things up. That.
You watch your mouth. You watch your mouth.
Suddenly the energy in the room has shifted.
Wow. I did some voiceover stuff for the Audubon Society about the stadium, so I feel
Which Audubon Society?
Minnesota
or the Minneapolis?
I don't know.
Which stadium?
Can we talk briefly then about so I can better understand?
Oh, sure.
Because I think it's right now. My feeling is completely ridiculous that we should give a crap
My feeling
about
is
those
completely
birds. If they can't see a gigantic building, Darwin.
They're idiots.
No, it's glass. Glass wasn't.
No, have you seen the building? Have you seen the building? And it's reflective. Why are there? Yeah,
that's Darwinism, man.
Yeah,
I'm sorry, I'm being contrary.
Take
no, that's fine. You guys
that
can be
huge,
contrary.
gigantic object in front of you.
Birds have
take a
different
left.
eyesight than we do. Birds can see in the ultraviolet spectrum, which we cannot. As a matter of fact, when you see a kestrel hovering, it sees fresh mouse urine. That's something you can't see. So birds perceive the world in a completely different way. So we can look at something and know that glass is there, although sometimes people do try to walk through clean windows. Since birds are moving, they're not moving two-dimensionally like we are. They're moving up, down, diagonal, front, back. And then when you couple that with having a completely different set of eyesight than we do, and then you throw in a predator that's trying to kill them, they're going to panic, see a reflection, and think, oh, I can fly through that and get hit.
Through a reflection.
Yeah. Oftentimes what happens, this house that we're in is just as dangerous as anything else. And so
tear it down.
If a bird sees its reflection in the glass, or it sees the trees reflected, or just open sky behind it, it's going to try and fly into it.
Yeah.
But the thing
so
is,
you're almost proving my point.
Well, no,
because you have to have houses. And
but we can develop glass and we can put film on it that we can still see through. But
at what cost? I haven't heard, since February. I haven't heard or seen any bird hit this house.
Well, are you in here all day long?
No, but I can do research. And do you want to bet money that no bird has hit this house and died?
But also, I would win.
You think a bird has hit this house and died?
People's homes are just as lethal as the buildings are in downtown Minneapolis. And one of the things that I like about the Viking Stadium is that you have companies like 3M saying, oh, we might be able to develop something for that. And if 3M develops something that can be used on people's homes, that'll be way better than the Vikings using good glass, because we have developed something that is a problem. The Viking Stadium has just shed light on a problem that most people had no idea how big of a problem
Shed light,
is.
get it? But the other problem with the Viking Stadium, too, is it's huge monolith, and it's right down, like you said, a big quarter, and the whole side of it on one side is glass. So it's a bigger threat.
Yeah. And it's a kind of glass. Like, there's a different kind of glass they could be using that would deter the birds, right?
They would be less likely to hit it.
Oh, okay.
There are always going to be birds that hit windows, but if it can be the difference between a dozen hitting it versus hundreds or thousands hitting it.
You sincerely think there'll be 1,000 birds that will hit it?
In a year? Oh, yeah.
Okay,
there are surveys that happen in downtown Minneapolis.
Wouldn't we be seeing piles of dead birds on the sidewalk then?
Well, for a couple reasons, here's why you don't. Number one, these buildings have crews that go out and clean up the carcasses. Yeah. Number two, we have a ravenous coyote and raccoon population, and they know that this happens. So they lurk around buildings, and they eat them as the birds fall.
They are huge Viking fans, by the way.
Using the
I had no idea we had coyotes.
All right, I have a
here.
better fix, though. Why not just better signage? Birds don't fly here.
Birds can't read yet.
Yeah. Well, maybe that's their fault. Maybe the educational system has failed.
How is that a bird's fault if their educational
system... Teach the birds how to read. Seriously. And this, I'm a bird. I don't need to read. I don't need to conform to your society, humans. I'm tired of this crap. Make the birds read the sign.
Stop selling Chuck marijuana, Courtney.
God.
When they've been trying to do this de-extinction thing with the passenger pigeon and bring it back, what a lot of people don't realize was what huge numbers the passenger pigeon was in, and how so many of them would land on houses that the roofs would sometimes collapse.
Oh, yeah.
So, if we get the passenger pigeon back and people start releasing those, I think that's going to be our day of reckoning. I think that's when they're going to come by and just start piling on us. And then we're going to say, man, maybe we should have been nicer to
Well, maybe we could solve our transportation problem by increasing the population of driver pigeons. And then they could, so we don't have to worry so much
about
about...
backseat driver pigeons?
Yeah, backseat driver pigeons. These passenger pigeons, I think it's wrong focus.
You non-birders.
We're such nerds. I know.
I guess...
What was it you called the dick sissel again? The cockamuzzle?
I was all booby tits. What's it? I'm all, there's a cockadoodle. No, not a cockadoodle. It's I don't know what I called it.
Was some...
Cockasnugglepuss.
Yeah.
By the
way,
way,
I knew you meant dick sissel.
Yeah.
Which is a real bird name.
That is a bird that breeds in Minnesota.
Does it have a huge penis, or what does it steal?
No, it actually just has a cloaca.
What's a cloaca?
Yeah.
Most
Me
birds,
too.
their sexual organs, males and females, have a cloaca. And this time of year, they swell. As a matter of fact, a lot of bird species are just flying around with boners. And so when they mate, they literally just bump uglies. And that's the cloaca. It's this little swelling protuberance that's just underneath their feathers.
Do they mate in the air like the eagles, or
eagles don't really mate in the air?
I thought that was.
That's what everybody says, but no, that's flirting.
Oh, when they lock up in there.
That's the foreplay.
They're plummeting to earth, all tangled up.
That's foreplay.
Wow.
They actually have to be balancing on a branch, and then they.
How was your date? Well, it was kind of weird. It was our first date, and he started bumping into me mid-air. It's like we've only been out once. I don't know what kind of crap that is. I don't know what he expected. I don't know what he expected.
Yeah,
he expected to entangle with you and twirl through the air. What?
And yeah, sex with them only lasts like 3 seconds.
Mm-hmm.
And so,
That's
but
not
they
that
do
different
it
from most of
thousands of times in a day.
Oh, really?
Wow.
They do
Again.
it thousands of times.
Yeah, yeah. They're just
1
slutty
1,000,
birds.
2 1,000, 3 1,000. Break, refractory period, 1 1,000, 2
You
1,000.
little
3
dick sizzle, high five.
yeah.
Yeah, when I
So now that you've become accustomed to the tone of the show,
I am actually confused this whole episode.
Wait, can we talk about ballistic duck penises?
yes, absolutely. Those are the
Ballistic?
corkscrew ones.
Yeah, ducks have ducks. They're into the gangbanging.
Yeah.
So
dirty ducks.
yeah, they
So
have
duck bukkake?
yeah, kinda. So yeah, it shoots out, and there's video footage of it because somebody was trying to develop a way to collect duck semen, and
Sorry. It just sounded funny.
and so they just had these straight tubes, and the male duck, like his penis came out so fast and hard that it broke the plexiglass. So she had to develop a corkscrew plexiglass so she could collect the semen.
Can we YouTube that?
You can. I think there's
my
even
God.
slow-mo video.
Duck porn.
my
You just
God.
look up ballistic duck penis.
You're never going to be able to unsee it, though.
I worked in
I
law enforcement for
can't
many
wait.
years, and we were trying to develop ballistic human penises because they were
But-
death threats.
Check his coffee. I don't know what the hell.
It's
Explosive.
Friday.
That'll
Friday.
work. Explosive. And then the female duck has. There it is.
Oh my God.
Pivot.
See?
Let me see that.
That's just it coming out, and that's just
Oh, for the
measuring it.
love
That's
of
not breaking the
sweet Mother
plexiglass.
God.
Oh right. I think I've seen this one.
That's what's inside a duck?
Yeah,
That's
look
slow
at that
motion.
corkscrew thing.
Ducks
Oh,
are
you
It's like a big
trouble.
tongue.
Now, to deal with this, female ducks have a pocketed vagina.
Yeah, clearly.
Huh.
And so if she doesn't like the male that's getting on her, she can kind of close off the area that has the egg to fertilize, and just kind of like put him in a pocket where his deposit will not do anything.
That's awesome because, like, I mean, I guess as humans, we look at this. I've been talking about it with friends recently. We look at this and we see, well, there's a penis that's got to hold on to the woman, which means that this is rape happening, like trigger warning.
With ducks, it looks like a
Yeah.
gangbang in a park. I mean, there will be 4 or 5 males sometimes on the water on the female, practically drowning her.
But
Yeah.
I love hearing about that. There is this like biological like wall where the woman can be like, nope, you're gonna do this to me. Well, you're not going to be the father of my children. It's so anthropomorphizing them. But
By the way, if you Google pocket vagina, you won't find ducks. It's this little device that Chuck has.
Here, let me show
I'm
you.
not Googling
I don't.
that.
Yeah, I don't think there's video of duck vaginas. But
Dang
Courtney,
it.
Courtney, have I ever told you about the shorebirds? That's the feminist bird you want to be.
The shorebirds. No.
So there's a
It
couple
sounds
of
like a
them.
great band.
One's a Wilson's phalarope, and she is more colorful than the male. And she attracts the male. The male builds a nest. They mate together. She lays eggs and then takes off, and he raises the kid.
Oh yeah, that's
That's
my kind of
sexist.
bird.
Then there's the spotted.
That's cool.
That
I'm
pretty
fine
much
with
is what happened in my life lately.
The
Yeah.
spotted sandpiper keeps a harem of males. And she
Spirit
mates with all of
animal.
them. Yeah. They raise the kids, and the only thing she does is keep them from fighting with each other. And when she's out there, she kind of bobs her butt up and down. I mean, they're just a great.
Sassy.
That's how you can
Spotted
tell.
sandpiper.
It breeds right here in the Twin Cities.
Oh wow.
Yes,
At
dear.
Lake and 46th.
Actually, closer to Marshall Terrace Park,
Oh,
actually,
right,
in North
okay.
Minneapolis.
Oh okay.
Whatever you say, dear. Yes, dear.
Shut up, George.
Cool. My grandmother was so into birds, and
Yeah?
so I kind of I mean, I didn't really get into it, but she would have like the big coffee table books and whatnot. She has lots of bird jewelry.
This guy I knew was a total birder, and they do vacations where they go out there with their binoculars, and their bit was just to write down the bird you saw.
Yeah, that's a lister. I'm a terrible lister, but I mean, everywhere I go, I mean, I've been to Paris bird watching. I mean, I have something to do no matter
You'll
where I've been.
Go to Paris with the idea that we're going to bird watch.
That's part of the trip. Yeah, I'll go to museums and eat
Okay,
food
good.
and stuff.
Here, try this wine and speak French. Not interested. Where are your goddamn birds?
Actually, Israel invited me to come check out their bird watching a few years ago, and it was like pulling teeth getting them to stop at historical sites because they were like, "No, you're birders. We're only going to show you birds." I was like, "No, I do kind of want to see Jerusalem. And I really kind of want to see the Dead Sea. Please stop." I mean,
Yeah.
yeah. We're like, "No, you will look at Palestine sunbird."
And they probably have people who are fine with that. Awesome.
Oh yeah,
Screw
yeah.
the Dead Sea. I want to go see another Robin.
Mm-hmm. Israel is one of the best places to go birding. I'm actually in the process of organizing a tour there next year.
Yeah, I was going to say, because you organized a tour to Panama recently, didn't you, a couple of years ago?
I'm actually doing one this fall.
Oh, okay, excellent.
Yeah, you can come with me to Panama, and we will sip gin and tonics and watch crazy-ass birds come to a bird feeder. And
I like the first part.
Don't they have that kennel there?
Yes, they do.
Okay.
You can also.
Oh, sorry. Yeah. Okay.
It's just a kennel, not a kennel toe.
Oh, yeah, okay.
How do we, if we are interested in that, how do we hook up with you then?
You just go to birdchick.com.
Birdchick, and so we have our information on the website. And all
Yes,
that stuff.
and you can find out about
BC.C.
birds. Yeah, and we have Birds and Beers. It's a meetup once a month where we go to a bar and drink and talk
With
about
birds?
birds.
Hey,
Sometimes we do a woodcock tailgating party.
Woodcock?
Yes.
Tailgating party.
Dick Sizzles hang out with woodcocks?
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
What does that mean?
We have these great little birds here in the Twin Cities, and they're actually displaying right now.
Mm-hmm.
And you go to places like Lebanon Hills is a really great place to go. And 15 minutes after sunset, the males go out in the middle of the field, and they're small brown balls with these like crazy-ass long beaks, and they go peent, peent, and then they take off into the air, and they do this crazy twisty turny thing.
Uh-huh.
And while they're doing that, you go run in a circle where you saw them, and then they'll land, and they'll just keep doing it over and over, and that's how they attract females. So
Right in front of people?
yeah, it's great.
Wow.
It's really fun.
Dirty
Yeah.
birds.
Oh.
When's the next Birds and Beers?
May 12th at the Black Forest.
Oh, excellent. All right. Nicollet and 26th?
Yeah,
May
yeah.
12th.
Yeah.
What time?
6 to 9.
Mhm.
And anyone can come if you're bird curious. It's a good way to.
It's from 6 to 9. If you're bird curious.
Yes, I got you.
But I mean,
know where you're going with that.
It's just fun, kind of a fun way for people to see if birding is something they want to do, and it's
Yeah.
cool. We get everything, all different kinds of people.
We only have 7.5 more hours of bird sounds to kill, so please
Okay.
keep talking.
Okay.
Well, maybe we should take a break right about now.
Right, okay, fine.
All right.
Jeez, we didn't even make... All right.
Do you want to do birds that sound like flatulence?
Yeah.
Is there such a thing?
Oh my god.
All right, we'll do that when we come back. We're going to take a break.
The Twin Cities Hit Show with Rusty, Courtney, and Chuck will be right back.
MacMen. Don't let your computer problems drive you mad. We are MacMen, Minnesota's premier tech consultants and problem solvers for Macs, mobile devices, troubleshooting, training, and much more. No more dragging your computer all over town because we come to you. We love making house calls to your home or small business. MacMen. Call 612-345-8005. The Alive and Social Network is alive and growing. From the best in sports, music, movies, and beer, Alive and Social is what all the cool kids click on. Featuring characters like radio rebel Jeff Dubay, Star Tribune pundit Jim Suhan, Unfiltered, and television veteran and handsome man Rusty Gatenby. You can also taste the Minnesota Pubcast with Jason and Molly. Join the band with live band karaoke night from legendary O'Gara's in St. Paul and the live music showcase from Shamrocks. Yes, Alive and Social Network does indeed rock and roll. The Jeff DeBay Show, Jim Suhan Unfiltered, the Rusty Gatenby Review, the Minnesota Pubcast with Jason and Molly, live band karaoke, and Shamrock's live music showcase. Join the fun. Be alive and social with the Alive and Social Network.
The term foodie can sometimes come across as a tickle pretentious. BT and Lydia are here to demystify the term and reclaim it for the sake of good food. Their weekly podcast brings in fellow foodies and culture creators from the Twin Cities to talk about all things food. Find this duo only on the Alive and Social Network.
You're listening to the Twin Cities Hit Show with Rusty, Courtney, and Chuck.
C'est pour toi, Dick. Bon voyage. So I face the final curtain, my friend.
These are the last thoughts of a bird as it heads toward the stadium.
I'll state my case.
Actually, it's a song for Courtney. It's her last moments here on the Twin Cities Hit Show.
It's kind of sad.
I don't mind that the stadium's taking my tax dollars. I just don't want them to take my employment or the way I enjoy my spare time.
And every
Sing it, Courtney. Sing it.
and more, much more than this. I did it my way.
Celine Dion.
Oh, was it Celine Dion?
Singing Just For You.
My father loves Celine Dion. By the by, my mother never replied to me about whether or not we could call her.
I take that as a no.
Yeah.
You've been written out. You're out of the will, even. I heard.
I'm out of the will.
I'm in the will,
I'm
by the way.
leaving
So.
the twin. You're in the
Yeah.
McLean.
Yeah, I'm in the.
Barb
I'm
and
a
Steve
McLean now.
McLean's.
Yeah, I wanted to get her on the phone and gang up on Courtney.
Yeah.
that'd be good.
She's making a mistake leaving this fantastic show of ours. Anywho.
I believe in the power of the show, and I think that's part of the reason why I'm leaving is that because it's going to be a big handful soon.
Well.
Because I think you guys are going to do great. And it's something that I don't have room for, and I love you. I'm sorry. I love you, Twin Cities Hit Show listener.
But
I did it my
But I like to live.
hey, speaking of butt licking, birds that fart. Wait, what? They don't
No, birds
actually
that-
fart. They.
So we're back with Sharon Stiteler, who is the Birdchick. That sounds like a pig.
Yeah, it does.
This is a Minnesota bird.
Why have I never heard it? Where are they at?
They're all along the Mississippi River. You could probably see some flying over today.
Stop it. That's Chuck.
I'll give you a hint. Their beak can hold more than their belly can.
Oh,
They're all beak, no
a
belly.
pelican?
Yeah, that's the American white pelican.
Oh.
So I'll
Oh, the
listen closer.
AWP making an
Now, of
appearance
course,
up here.
my favorite.
Oh, the common loon.
Yeah, that to me is up north.
The Governor Dayton.
That's
Either early in the morning or
that's Lake
dusk.
Calhoun, man.
Yeah, really, but I guess you don't hear it because of all the city noise like you do when you're up north.
I live over by Lake Calhoun. I can hear him.
Yeah?
She has an ear for this
But
shit.
I mean, in this presentation, with just the loon and the echoes.
And the katydids.
Katie actually didn't. That's a myth.
But no,
Anyway,
I hear bird calls all the time.
You can
and I can
zero
just
in
I can
on it.
zero in on them. Yeah, and
Okay.
it's migration is really rough because it'll be 4:30 a.m. and I'll all of a sudden just like sit up in bed. And my husband's what? And I was like, gross beaks.
I was just gonna say you're probably that person. Like, guys, shh. Listen, what? That. You don't hear anything. Can we get back to our conversation? No. Shh.
That has to be a pretty spectacular bird for me to
Yeah.
shush someone, but most of the time I can tune it out.
That was my bird. I can. That was,
I love that you guys are doing the bird calls and I'm not, because my big pet peeve is like people are like, hey, can you make a bird call for us? And I'm like, no, that's bird face. I don't do that.
Yeah. Bird face?
Can you do your duck face for us? I want to see that.
Oh.
Do duck, we're all doing duck face in the selfie.
I'll do my
today.
duck badge for you, but no.
Whoa!
Hey,
This
can you
show
churn up
just
some
got
duck butter?
interesting.
Can you churn up duck butter?
For
What's
a
duck
fee.
butter?
It's vaginal juice.
Okay, got it. Okay.
Duck
boy.
queef.
Oh, don't do that.
I love that
I'm
sound.
seriously, don't do it.
It makes him so mad. He's
It
doing
makes
it.
me furious.
It does.
Now,
It's
Sharon,
the
you
worst.
just put out a book in the past couple of years, right?
I did. 1001 Secrets Every Birder Should Know.
Yeah, awesome.
I feel like you dropped the ball. I feel like you sold yourself short. Why not 1005?
Basically, a publisher contacted me and said, we have this title. Come up with an outline, and if we like it, we'll publish it.
Oh, nice.
You know what, though? As the writer, you can set the rules. Yeah, screw you. 1005.
Honestly, I really don't like writing books.
Yeah.
So it was more about how much money is this going to pay me and how much time is this going to take. And then
But buy it, guys. It's great.
it is.
Nah, I believe you.
They gave me a lot of freedom because I sent them a sample chapter on sex, and they loved it.
Oh, yeah.
Wasn't it about birds, though?
It was, but I said, you call it an affair. Birds call it extra pair copulation. I got to talk about homosexual birds, and I mean,
ooh,
yeah, I mean, it was.
Touchy.
Which birds go that way?
Yeah.
I think I even got to use the phrase bird boner. That didn't get edited out. So,
Wow.
So I was just like, okay, this is going to be a fun project. But
Yeah.
that's my third book, and I've contributed to a few others. And other than that, I really don't like writing books because it's like a marathon. It's never done.
Yeah.
It's never done.
I've done some writing, and I understand that.
Online writing is great. It's fast, it's quick, it's instant gratification.
I've done some tweeting, so yeah, I know what
I've
you mean.
written some scripts, some movie scripts.
Oh, yeah?
Treatment scripts.
I know some people have written scripts. Has your script made it all the way?
It's agents have read it. James Cameron has read my screenplay and loved it. Technically, I don't want to say too much about it, but
I understand.
He said it
still
can be
like,
done.
Is it still like
In
being
play,
bounced around?
Yeah, it is.
Is it
still in
optioned?
play. It is not.
That's the dream, is to get something optioned, and then like keep getting it optioned, because then you just get all the money and you don't have to worry about them doing it badly.
Yeah,
I've been told to rewrite it, so I need to do a rewrite.
No, this is
see what happens.
Great, but yeah, you're gonna have to go ahead and rewrite it completely.
Yeah.
No, it was a great conversation. Because my idea involves a lot of technology, and who better than James Cameron? And we talked about the legalities of it. It involves photo imaging of like bringing Elvis back to life, not with a character in a wig, but taking existing photos, 3D imaging Elvis, and having him appear in a movie alongside John Lennon, Michael Jackson.
That technology exists.
Yeah.
But to make it photoreal, not, CGI has come a long way, but in the early days, you could totally tell, that's not real.
Yeah.
They're getting closer, and the human form has been the most difficult. Anyway.
I don't know. There have been some CGI birds that I'm just like, come on. I appreciate your effort with that Carolina parakeet, but...
Should we talk about what's happening this weekend?
Sure, absolutely.
Because we're talking about CGI, one of the big movies, The Avengers.
Oh, nice.
It's the third biggest movie of all time. It stands at $1.5 billion.
Wow.
It's already made $200 million in Europe, and they say it's on track to probably beat last year, or it was 3 years ago when The Avengers came out.
3 years ago?
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to it. I mean, it's a rare movie that makes me ditch Spring Migration to go sit in a dark box for 2.5 hours.
Yeah.
I have seen it. My review is on the Rusty Gatenby review, which is another podcast, and also on WCCO television. You can see my reviews. One thing, did you hear about Robert Downey Jr. walking out of that interview? The junkets and all that?
Yeah.
He was on Howard Stern, and he explained about walking out of the interview. This just happened.
Now, what happened when you walked out of the interview? You're getting a ton of fucking press for walking out. Are you glad about that, or do you wish you just stayed and dealt with this fucking guy?
I just wish I'd left sooner.
You do?
Yeah.
Everybody seems to be on your side for walking out.
Well, everybody should always be on my side.
You were really rubbed the wrong way.
I didn't think he handled it badly. He didn't get
No.
He just got up and
You
left.
said, I'm done.
Here's the thing. First of all, I don't even know that guy's name, but I know that he pulled the same garbage on Tarantino, and Tarantino stayed in his chair and lit him up for 5 minutes.
That's on YouTube,
I'm
by
one
the
of those
way.
guys who I'm always assuming the social kind of decorum is in play,
Right.
and that we're promoting a superhero movie. A lot of kids are going to see it, and
Right.
that this has nothing to do with your
agenda,
creepy, dark agenda that I'm feeling all of a sudden like ashamed and obligated to accommodate your weirdo shit.
Yeah.
So I just realized too that I'm a 50-year-old guy.
Right.
I use fancy words.
Right.
On the Howard Stern
Electricity
show.
or something?
Yep.
It's like electricity.
And yet I'm
Right.
completely unevolved when it comes down to simple boundaries. Like, you know what? You're weirding me out. You
Yeah.
are a bottom-feeding muckraker.
So you stand up and you say, look, I've had enough.
Yeah, but...
So anyway, he was responding to that. I thought that was cool.
Yeah.
And that especially that he felt almost guilty about being upset, and when he obviously didn't have to. You mentioned him singing. This is Robert Downey singing Sting.
Yeah. You seen this part?
Yes.
It's Robert Downey Jr.
Yeah,
It's
I know.
Iron Man.
Yeah.
There should be Iron Man the musical.
Have you seen the video too? Maybe it's just interesting for us.
He sang at his birthday with, he just turned
Duran
50.
Duran.
Oh, Steely Dan was also there.
Oh, right.
Patrick's favorite. He got on stage and sang with Steely Dan.
Patrick's favorite, Patrick Hammer.
I think the first time I heard him sing was when he was in that Chaplin movie. At the end, he did a cover
he?
of Smile. Yeah.
Which Charlie Chaplin wrote.
Yeah, yeah.
Smile, though you're All right. Well, speaking of trivia, also in town this weekend, a band that I kind of like. This song is on my...
The Rolling Stones?
Yeah, they're coming
The Beatles?
too. No, Death Cab for Cutie. Why is this not playing? Oh, it's their video. No, they don't suck. Do they suck?
I'm not a fan of Death Cab for Cutie.
I thought you said you were.
No, I like a couple of their songs, but I honestly really don't like this guy's voice. He sounds like... And I don't...
Emo? You don't like the emo voices?
He's no Barry Manilow.
He's no Barry Manilow. And I feel like the only other... He just sounds like a pussy. And I don't normally use
That's
that.
what emo voices
What do you
sound
have
like.
against pussy, Courtney?
I have nothing against pussy, and I don't normally use that word as that, but to me, I'm just like, I'm all, I feel...
I like this song.
I
Death
yeah.
Cab for Cutie is at Northrop on
I'm
Saturday.
alone in this feeling, by the way. I mean, I
No,
know
you're not.
I'm one of few. that
There's a
feels
lot of
this.
people who cannot stand emo music.
Yeah.
This is a long build-up to the... Here it is.
The potential of you and
It's very...
I just want to punch him.
It's effective. It's very effete.
I don't condone violence.
They are at Northrop Auditorium Saturday night, May 2nd, Death Cab for Cutie. Does anyone know the trivia behind the name of Death Cab for
No.
Cutie?
It's, isn't it a Dr. Dog reference or something? Nope.
I heard
think
it once on The Current, but I can't remember.
From the film Magical Mystery Tour,
yeah.
the Beatles, at a moment, go into a strip club, and that band playing for the stripper is called Death Cab for Cutie.
Oh, wow. That's pretty cool. That's
okay.
pretty cool.
I wonder where that came from. Good. Okay.
All right, so also happening this weekend, we have the Joyzy Boys are back. I think this is kind
Joyzy Boys.
The Broadway show.
Yeah.
We were talking Broadway yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
This was a big hit, and a Broadway show based on music.
Yeah.
I mean, established rock and roll music, although it's the story of Jersey Boys. That opens Friday at the Orpheum.
Are they all from Jersey? Like, why is it called Jersey Boys?
Yes. No, they're from California.
I don't know. I mean, do they all wear T-shirts?
It's the Frankie Valli and the Four Seasons, and they grew up in Jersey, which one of the guys who introduced Frankie Valli to the other members of the band, have you heard this story?
Negative.
The show is full of trivia.
Oh, wow.
Joe Pesci.
Oh, no kidding.
What?
Yeah. I seem funny to you? Funny like a clown? Actual Joe Pesci grew up with Frankie Avalon in the Four Seasons,
wow. Yeah.
and he introduced the band together. And that moment's in the Broadway show. Has anyone seen the show?
No.
It's
No,
really
but I knew
good.
a woman who was in the national tour. That's all I
Good
got.
show. The music is really strong. The story is interesting enough. Clint Eastwood, of course, made it a movie last year. Yeah,
Oh,
last
really?
year.
It wasn't super well regarded, was it?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
it
don't
did
even
all right.
remember
It
that.
did all right. Yeah, no, it was. It's a movie you can rent it. Yeah, right. I love this song. This is a good one to sing at a karaoke night.
Yeah.
I think nothing is a good song to sing at a karaoke night.
I already told my story about how I sang this in Rome and got the wedding to sing. Right?
Oh,
I saw
yeah,
that, Penn and Teller are in town.
Oh, yeah.
What?
Pen, wait, why are you laughing? Because...
Nothing.
Oh, okay.
No, I know Penn. I gave him some beekeeping advice once, and I taught him how to make hummingbird nectar.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And he told me a really horrific story about his scrotum.
Oh, for God's sake.
For humor's sake or what?
No, it's a really great story. No, it was...
It's a great story.
He's a friend of a friend, and so I went out to Las Vegas, and he gave us tickets to his show, and afterwards, like, you want to come backstage and see me eat?
Did he,
Like,
did he do the preview where you're walking in and there's a box on stage and you can go
oh,
and
yeah,
look at it
yeah.
and then, yeah.
I got my picture inside the box.
Yeah.
But so Teller was like describing to me how they did this trick years ago with bees, and then Penn went into this whole thing about how many times he got stung, and he had this weird side effect where the skin of his scrotum fell off. Ooh. And I mean, he was telling this to lots of people, and I don't want to like give the whole story away because
it's his story.
It's his story, and I'm sure if he's like, "Hey, will you tell me your nutsack story?" And he'll be happy to. But it was a crazy story. But I was like, I've never heard the word nutsack so many times in like 10 minutes.
Yeah.
And
They got their start here at the Renaissance
Festival.
Yes, they did.
1972.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, who knew?
And-
Here in Minnesota?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that. Wow.
Came back for a couple of seasons at the Renaissance Festival. Of course, he's so smart. And here's Penn just for a moment. We always, for whatever reason, talk about religion. We were talking about it yesterday with Scientology. He is an atheist, so he explains the difference between atheist and agnostic.
Well, agnostic was to begin with a weasel word. You know, Tom Huxley, who was Darwin's bulldog, was going to go out and speak for Darwin. Darwin didn't like confrontation a lot. So he didn't want to say the word atheist, so he said the word agnostic. But agnostic answers a different question than atheist. It's just two different issues. If you're asked, is there a God, and you answer, I don't know, that's agnostic. If you're asked, do you believe in a God, then you have to answer yes or no. And if your answer to the first is I don't know, the answer to the question is pretty much no.
Well, you're introducing logic into this now.
Oh, that's Bill Maher.
Yeah.
I love that answer.
I'm borderline agnostic.
Mm-hmm.
I sure feel like there's something bigger in the universe that is godlike and spiritual. I don't believe any human has the correct rule book, and we shouldn't be going to war over each other's rule books.
Mm-hmm.
No, my religion's right and yours is wrong. I'm going to kill you.
You know, I think atheism, I don't want to say it's on an upswing, but I have not believed in God ever. And I remember at a very young age, it was not cool to talk about that. And, oh, that's cute.
Yeah.
You'll grow out of that. No, I really won't. And I haven't. And people keep saying, you know, especially I've been through some horrific near life-ending injuries.
And you never once, when your life threatened, go,
no.
oh, God.
Yeah, no. I just thought maybe there's a weird power. And that's where I probably became, not weird power, but just a weird, I can't even think of the word I'm looking for here, but weird force or something.
Mm-hmm.
I thought, okay, maybe I'm a little more agnostic than I've acknowledged in the past. But I still don't believe in a God. I just believe there might be something out there. But if you've watched Cosmos and you believe in the science, which is hard to refute, you're an idiot if you believe that truly the world was created 3,000 years ago, or that there's only one religion.
We're going back to the rule book then. I don't believe in the rule books.
Rule book,
I don't believe in
My mom used to have the hots for Carl Sagan, and
hasn't.
I remember her, and she's a Christian scientist too, and a nurse, but that's a whole nother thing. But I remember her looking at me one day, and she said, I don't think Carl Sagan believes in God. And you could kind of see she was having a tough time justifying that. It was like, I really think you're hot, but how could you believe in God with all this stuff?
Yeah, how can you possibly have morals if you don't subscribe to an organized religion?
See, but that's the thing, is that we're interchanging the word morals, and that is one of the huge issues. Especially, we played that Duck Dynasty thing a couple weeks ago, and I know why. It's just like
why? Because I wanted people to hear.
No. I mean, I was reacting to Sharon, like, why do they even exist? I don't
know.
But it's like, it's people who are religious. I mean, this is like a huge nut, obviously, but to say that people that don't believe in a God are without morals, I think is bullshit.
Right.
I mean, it's like I still look at you all as humans.
Doesn't make you a rapist and a murderer because you don't believe there's a God.
I don't think rape and murder is right. I mean, I believe in abortion, and that.
In fact, there's a lot of Bible thumping
people
who end up doing horrific things.
Yeah, you see, like
absolutely.
there's Catholic Church or whatever the thing is called. They have like some priest problem. Yeah.
Oh, I hadn't heard about that. I should Google that.
Well, absolutely.
They just had down 2020 the daughters or the girls were held captive for 10 years, and that guy who was able to keep them locked up for 10 years was going to church every Sunday.
Yeah.
He was a church-going guy. So
he's a God-fearing man.
And of course,
speaking of controversial, there are two guys who are going to make huge money this weekend. Have you heard about
Chuck
this?
and Rusty? Who else?
You know, as much as we worry about concussions in football and all that, two guys are going to beat the hell out of each other's faces and make sincerely
the fight on Saturday night.
Hundreds of millions of dollars. Check this out.
He's controversial, he's brash, he's arrogant, and so what? Says a lot of consumers, because they snatched up tickets to this fight 60 seconds after they went on sale. Some people just don't care. They want to see this fight, and now Mayweather stands to make $200 million for one night of work.
100.
It will be the biggest, richest fight in boxing history. And what would you expect when it involves a fighter whose nickname is Money?
May 2nd, that's when the world stops. I want everyone to tune in.
Floyd Money Mayweather. He's boxing's biggest draw and arguably biggest ego.
No one can ever brainwash me to make me believe that Sugar Ray Robinson and Muhammad Ali was better than me.
He's talented, brash, and rich. The reigning king of Forbes' list of highest paid athletes has no problem showing off his cash.
The fight is on, and I know you're very excited.
In the other corner Saturday, Manny Pacquiao, a fan favorite, devout Christian, and congressman in his home country of the Philippines. This contrast in personalities is producing now unprecedented numbers. Tickets selling for over $300,000 online. 3 to 4 million people expected to watch on pay-per-view. But the historic hype is also mixed with controversy.
Listen to this.
Will not promote, watch, nor report on Mayweather's fight. I will boycott it, and I urge you to as well.
Who's that?
ESPN's Keith Olbermann urging fans to boycott the match on account of Mayweather's history of violence against women, including an assault that landed him in jail.
Just an obstacle that was put in my way. I get past it.
But can he get past Pacquiao and keep his undefeated record intact? Win or lose, he might need a bigger bag for all his money.
They're expecting around $400 million total. Both Floyd Mayweather Jr. and Manny Pacquiao will have never made this much money for one fight.
No one will. It'll be record-setting in Broadway. Broadway
and you
boxing.
don't get to take it with you into the grave. Have fun when you die, you piece of shit.
Can't take it with you.
Wow.
So
Why
I'm
don't you
guessing.
just watch porn? It's free.
I say, as a Twin Cities hit show, we
people beating each
root
other
for
down.
Manny Pacquiao instead of the domestic abuser, Floyd Mayweather.
Did he really say it was just an obstacle?
Just an obstacle.
He meant her face.
Going to
He
jail.
meant her
He
face.
meant her-
No, her face was.
Oh, going to jail was
He went
just
to
an
ja-
obstacle.
Well, going to jail for domestic violence was
Yeah.
just an obstacle.
Ugh.
So he makes Adrian Peterson seem like Jimmy
Oh, yeah.
Stewart.
Yeah,
far as that
I'm a big proponent of the idea that it takes all kinds, and like I listen to that shit, and I'm just like,
can you imagine?
Have fun with your fucking life, you douchebag.
That money, $200 million to go in there. And the thing about boxing that's always amazed me, especially when we
Is
get
why are people into it?
Yeah, they're into it. And you, as the guy who has to go into the ring, you know you're going to get hurt. You're going in.
Well, that's what he said. He's like,
get hurt.
This is the night where it all ends. Yeah, because you might die.
Yeah, I guess
it all
so.
ends.
It's so gladiator Roman. This society
it
is.
is. Yeah, it is, right? That's like what it's evolved
This
into.
witchcraft science about this witchcraft science about concussions. I mean, look at Muhammad Ali. He's doing great.
No, you're right. You're right.
Yeah.
Oh,
George
Did
Foreman's
Carson.
selling grills.
Hey, the George Foreman grill is awesome.
Yeah, that
Delicious
is.
and
It is kinda
fat,
awesome.
fat eliminating.
I love that and my quesadilla maker. Two great appliances.
Do you want to
That
hear
is kinda
a funny story that happened here in the Twin Cities a few years ago? I'm sitting out on my porch in Uptown where I used to live,
Minding your own
and
business.
minding my own business, smoking
Topless.
a joint, whatever. And these two people my age are walking up. And they walk by and they're talking about higher education, and the woman turns to me and she's like, "What do you think of higher education? Like, what do you think? Does somebody need to go to college?" And I'm like, and I kind of give my opinion about it, which is not a popular opinion. And and anyway, I invite
Which is no, they don't, right?
Well, I feel like higher education as it is now is a bit of a racket, but just because there's like whatever, I'm not going to get into it. But I invite those
It's
two
your
people
last
in.
show. Get into it, baby.
I invite those two people in, and they were both extremely nice. And the woman was Mishi Foreman. I believe
related to George
Yeah,
Foreman?
related to George Foreman,
Oh.
and I don't remember how. I want to say she's his
Say that
niece or
just
something.
you randomly got into a conversation about higher education?
Yeah, well, they were talking about that, and I was sitting on my stoop, and they walked by, and they were talking about, and they just turned to me and were like, "Hey, what do you
Oh,
think about
wow.
this?" And then I was just in that mood where sometimes
Yeah.
when you smoke a little bit of weed, you're like, "Everybody's my friend," and I was all, "Hey," and then we had this conversation. Well, you guys want to come in for a smoke? And then we ended up.
That's what happens in Uptown, though. We used to have the same
true,
phone
yeah.
number as Barbette, except for one number difference.
Mhm.
And so people would call asking for Barbette, and I would give them the right number. And like people, you want to come join us?
What is Barbette?
Cafe Barbette.
Yeah.
It's a nice little cafe on Lake Street.
And then
Owned by the same people that own BLB.
And BLB and Third Bird and Tiny Diner and Pat's Tap.
Gigi's.
Oh,
yeah,
Pat's Tap.
yeah, Gigi's, yeah.
There's a funny name one I know.
Yeah.
Please tell me, Courtney, when you brought them in, you offered them a cocktail, maybe a bong hit, and then you put this on.
I sure did. You know it. When I'm lying in bed and you let it all out, what's in my head, and I'm a little peculiar.
Come on, Chuck, it's Friday.
I wake in the morning and I step outside and I take a deep breath and I get real high and I see from the top of my lungs what's going on.
I said, hey!
What's going on?
I love that little little sound that you hear, because that's on the video. It's He-Man and Duncan IMing back and forth, and it's just so.
I love Skeletor on here. Yeah.
Yes.
So talented.
Do you have like the 12-hour version?
The 12-hour version.
Oh, here it comes. It's coming. Oh my God, do I try? I try all the time.
So sensitive, He-Man.
In this
institution.
Here it is.
I like his haircut.
And he prays.
Oh my God, do I pray? Wait, keep it going. Keep it. I pray every single day.
Yeah.
Hey,
you've never played this much of it.
Jay. No, only once have we made it to Skeletor before. It's Courtney's last day.
This is
my favorite thing in
This
the
is
whole
Bill
world.
and I's song.
Is it really?
Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah.
Wait, Bill told me this was our song.
Wait a minute.
Different Bill. There are a lot of Bills.
No, it's the same Bill.
I don't think so.
No, I'm sure it was the same Bill.
Let's talk inches and we'll see who's
Yeah.
right.
Oh.
7.3.
Just hold it inside.
Chuck's
Talk
got one
girth.
He's got one of them squirrely duck dicks.
You're mixing species there. You can't have a mammal and an avian and a.
Oh, for God's sake.
Yeah.
You're an idiot, Gateby.
Can we really get bird flu? Is that a thing for real?
Yeah, it could mutate and it's something. Yeah, we could get it. That's one of the reasons why they're freaking out about it.
Yeah. Oh, okay. It's not just
Music ran out. Sorry,
The music
I didn't have
ran
the,
out.
I
It
didn't
should
have
be
the,
like
I didn't have the. I didn't have the 12-hour one.
Oh my God, I remember like
All right,
that.
Courtney, wrapping it up here.
Here we are.
Courtney's last thoughts.
My last thoughts are
Courtney's eulogy.
Thank you, Chuck and Rusty, and thank you, Sharon, for being on the show today.
Thanks for asking me on your last day.
This has been a lot of freaking fun. I'm very excited for what the future holds. I'm excited to see you guys again when I come in as a guest, or when I just surprise you, or when I come back in a week after regretting my decision.
Good. I want to, if you don't mind, I want to go out with a Todd Snyder song that I
Absolutely.
came across, and I thought this kind of speaks to from my impressions of these last 3 months of Courtney. So we can just turn off the mics and play this out, but good luck.
Thanks, man.
Kill it.
Happy trails, Petunia.
I love you guys.
I'll still see you.
You will.
Yeah.
You're a stalker?
We're in the same circle.
Oh.
We'll run into her.
If there's a dude peering out your window,
no, I'll really
it could
see
be
you.
Chuck. Here's Todd Snyder. Can't complain. No complaining.
Little out of place, little out of tune, so lost in space, racing that moon, climbing the wall of a hurricane, still overall, I can't complain. All I wanted was one chance to let freedom ring. Said I had to get a permit, a bunch of tags and everything. Never made it through the red tape. I got this paper hat, I got a job working weekdays. You want fries with that, I got nothing to lose. There's nothing to gain. It's like a one-way ticket to cruise in the passing lane. I can't complain. I was talking with my girlfriend, I told her I was stressed. Said I'm going off the deep end, she said, God, for once, give it rest. We're all waiting in the dugout, thinking we should pitch. How you gonna throw a shutout if all you do is bitch? I got nothing to lose, there's nothing to gain. It's like a one-way ticket to cruise in the passing lane. I can't complain. Now I've got a brand new dance, I need one more shot. Just need one last chance, you know I won't get caught. I'm gonna make my last stand, this time I can't be bought. Then again, on the other hand, how much have you got? I've got nothing to lose, ain't nothing to gain. It's like a one-way ticket to cruise in the passing lane. I can't complain. little out of place, a little out of tune, so lost in space, racing that moon, climbing the wall of a hurricane, still overall, I can't complain. Hey, how are you all? I can't complain.